So, where are we?
We're in the dining room where we serve meals 3 times a week. And this area right out here is where we provide food. We give groceries to over 3,000 people a month. Groceries and meals.
Groceries. And actually, you were, before we began, you were talking about the groceries. You said there was something very interesting about the types of food that they're giving.
Because of the lead in our water, we've been instructed, actually helped also by the food bank, to give things that are high in vitamin C, iron, and calcium. So we are now in the process of trying to provide milk at all of our meals so that they can get the calcium. We have a Head Start program that just started here a week ago, and so we're trying to assist them as well educationally. But those things are that we give out that help in that way are juices, of course, not constant or regular juice, not cocktail things, apple, orange, grape, whatever juice we can get. And then we provide milk. We do give that to our people. We give canned salmon, chicken, and tuna, particularly. Those are the meats, or the canned meats that help the iron.
Okay. Now, the program's been around, obviously, before we had the water issue.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Now, okay, I'm going to take you back then.
Okay.
Do you remember when you first found out about the lead?
I sure do.
What was it?
It was like an explosion here in the city, because we had known or believed that something was wrong with the water at least 6 months before.
What?
Because the color of the water and the smell of the water was very different for us. And so we chose 6 months before this ever came up to provide bottled water for our cooking.
So what color was the water?
It was kind of a rust color,
Okay.
kind of an orange, almost like a pumpkin.
Almost like it had a lot of iron in it or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I don't know what was all in it, but everyone said the water was okay.
And the smell?
The smell was kind of like it was rotten, something was rotting, but it was certainly not appetizing at all. And we chose then to use bottled water for our kitchen, because our focus is the health of our people. And so in order to do that, we already were spending $1,000 a month in water. Now we had to add another $100 a month just for bottled water.
You see, yeah, you're saying your water bill, your normal water bill,
Yeah.
$1,000 a month.
Absolutely.
And now, not only were you having to pay for that, but you had to pay for the bottled water that was coming in. Wow.
And all that we can use that water for is washing the towels in our kitchen, washing the dishes, and flushing the toilets. That's all that we can use.
So nothing consumable, but it is. You're saying that it's all right to wash the dishes in the water here using the lead. It won't affect.
Right.
It won't become. That won't be poisonous.
Right, and because we also use a disinfectant and everything,
Okay.
because we're a licensed kitchen, so we know that the disinfectant is also part of it. So we know what we have to do. It just costs more to do it.
Anything consumable,
It's
it's got to come from bottles.
is bottled, or as this wonderful facility that we have here that was donated to us, that really helps us, because now we don't have to buy the bottled water.
Yeah.
We give bottled water away
Mm-hmm.
every day
Yeah. Portable.
to our people. Yes.
Because outside of the facility, obviously, it's a really strange feeling in Flint. Just as someone who's I've only visited twice in the last year, right? And it's a strange feeling to be in Flint, because you can't go to a drinking fountain and take a drink when you're thirsty. You can't, you think about these things. Even, use the bathroom, wash your hands. You think about these things all the time. And I just can't imagine what it must be like to be living in this circumstance. And so the work you're doing it's amazing.
Well, our work, even though it has more to it now because of the water, we truly believe in our work, and it truly is helping so many people gain just confidence in their own life. So we will do whatever we have to in order to make sure that our people are safe.
Well, obviously, you 6 months before, even though everybody was saying the water was safe, you were saying, no, this is not safe water.
Something is wrong here.
Something is wrong
And I'm
here.
not a scientist, but I knew something was
So
wrong.
how does the day-to-day process work on bottled water?
For our people,
You know,
because or here,
running the kitchen and such. Like how do you cook? How do you provide? You say 3,000 people a month, and how do you cook on bottled water for 3,000 people?
okay. So what we were doing, like for instance, if we have spaghetti, so we had to put bottled water into our pan in order to boil the spaghetti.
Okay.
We had to use bottled water to rinse all the spaghetti and then serve it. And our people were afraid of the water as well and wanted to know. We had to put a sign up for a while that what we're using here in our kitchen is safe water,
Okay. Hold on a second.
because otherwise they're not sure.
Okay.
That's
and
the water.
These are the bottles that we're talking about.
That's
So
what we were buying.
you were buying. So for kitchen use, we were using these big kind of,
Making coffee,
Yeah.
everything. Ice, we turned our ice machine off. For a year, we didn't have ice because we didn't know how to do that healthily. So we just did not have ice,
and I
even during the
noticed,
summer.
and I noticed you have a bunch of empties.
Yes, yes.
What are you going to do with these empties?
We're going to return them to the company and get our deposit back. And because we don't need them anymore, but before we went to the filtered water, we had quite a big shipment of that. So we're still using it, but it's not urgent to use it now, so we don't use as much of it. But we still have 5 or 6 bottles that we have to use up. So
And I know that's kind of an issue throughout Flint too, is even the small bottles of water that we drink and carry with us. Well, you empty the water, what are you left with?
A
Big
bottle.
plastic bottle that's, lying around. And Flint is littered with plastic bottles, which, very thankful to people for providing the bottled water, but really the best solution is to, find something that's not in a bottle like.
and absolutely, that can come out of our tap.
And that brings us back to kind of what Joe's provided.
Yes.
Now, how has word gotten out? I mean, to the people that come here that the water is now safer, that it's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know that. They ask it, and when we put the sign up, and we said that Joe had done this for us, and they trust it. They trust us, so they're going to trust what we tell them. They don't ask that again. They just know that what water we use here is safe for them.
Well, and you talked about the frustration of the people
Oh, my
coming
goodness.
in,
Yeah.
and I would imagine that has to be somewhat of a huge relief for them to at least know that this is a safe haven where not only are you providing education and food, but now you also have safe water.
Yeah. It's a safe place for them, and they know that in all ways. But
Wow.
we've had water recovery classes here, and the absolute biggest problem, the water obviously is one, but it's created such a lack of trust. So water is an issue, but to me, the lack of trust is even larger than the water issue right now. How do you build a trust that's been broken? How do you build a trust when somebody has lied to you? That takes a long, long time.
Yeah. And what does that do to hope?
Oh, yeah. There isn't any.
Yeah.
It's very diminished right now.
And that seems to be what the people need more than anything, is hope.
And right now, one of their hopes is that some of the water lines are finally being changed, and that's great. But there's so many that need to be changed.
So it's an immense job.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge.
Well,
It's a huge problem.